Hey Jack, what's going on, man? Didn't even look at chat yet. You were in here so quick. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Still busy as hell trying to get through this kind of next few weeks and get everything aligned and scheduled and get it all back in order. You know how it is. Haven't been trading too much lately. Missed out on a lot of this volatility. Been trying to get all my stuff in order. Gonna talk about some trades that I was thinking about taking that I didn't end up taking yesterday. It's funny. We posted some screenshots in Discord. Really nice short opportunities towards the high there. What's going on, Sawyer? And I was thinking about, right before I went to bed, I was thinking about just doubling up on my shorts. I've got a small short open on my high risk account, and then I've got a small short open on my main account. Same shorts I've had open for a while now. And I thought about doubling them up before I went to bed. But I was like, I hate trading while I'm sleeping. It's like one of my least favorite things to do in crypto. So I was like, not gonna do it. Not gonna add on to that trade right before I go to bed. So decided not to, but it would have actually played out. Another one of the main reasons why, let me show you my screen here. Another one of the main reasons why I did not add on to this. We saw this failure up here, right, on this channel we've been watching, same channel we've been watching for like a week now. We saw that failure right at the top, and I said on Discord, if you guys are in the Discord, I said this is a perfect place for a top. If it wants to top here, this is exactly where it would top, right? Because that's right on the top of the channel. Beautiful spot. You saw some sell pressure coming in and whatnot. This was about like 1, 2, 3 a.m. So basically right when I was going to bed. And it was like a battle between like intuition and discipline, right? So looking at the overall strategy, like when you're trading, the overall, like buying this overall is not a good trade. Or sorry, selling this is not a good trade. Because we've seen throughout, basically once it started to break out around the 13th, which is what, about a week ago. Once it started to break out around here, basically all the way up, we've had little bear divs throughout like this entire rally, and it's ignored pretty much all of them. The only bear div that it really played out was kind of this one here, where you had a bear div here, and then you kind of played out to the downside. That's like the only one that had really it actually worked. The bulls, if you guys were watching the order book or watching the volume, the buyers, the whales were exceptional. They were holding up price. Every time there was a sell-off, they would buy up with massive volume. And typically, I said this a lot in Discord, typically when you have these strong uptrends that are being propped up by big whales, you'll see exactly what we're seeing here, where you see those bear divs on pretty much every time frame. But they just don't play out because the bulls are so strong and they just keep pumping it every time. It pulls back, it tries to play out the bear div, and the bulls pump it. So one of the main reasons why I didn't want to take that trade, along with me going to sleep, and I hate trading while I'm sleeping, is I've taken that style of a trade a ton of times in the past like year, where you see a bunch of bear divs, and it looks like it's going to top out, and you try to take a short, but the bulls just keep pumping it. So I just didn't want to take that trade. I wanted to wait for confirmation. I wanted to wait for a failure. I didn't expect this failure to be this strong, we saw in one 4-hour candle, it went from one side of the channel all the way to the other side of the channel. So I was not expecting it to be that powerful. I was going to wait for confirmation. I was going to short the break of this level, which I said in Discord, if you guys were following the analysis. I was going to short the break of this level, but it happened so quickly we didn't add on to our short. I'm still in my shorts, so I like that this is coming down here. But I was going to add on here, which would have been really good to add on around 9,000, 8,900. But it was just too quick of a move, so we didn't do it. What's going on, Keytoy Schmid? Sawyer Jack. I think I got all you guys. But yeah, in one candle, one 4-hour candle, we basically went from one side of the channel to the other, which is about a 3-4% failure, I think. Let's see. No, that's way more than 4%. That's a 7% failure. So in one candle, we had a 7% failure there overnight. So the bulls really, they got punished for sure. And then what we just saw was a massive move. This is about a 3% candle, I believe. Let's see. About a 3.5% candle where we saw the price get nuked below the mid-range of this channel, back down into the 1-hour range that we saw here. And then look at this one candle. This one candle not only tests the bottom of the 4-hour, but it tests the bottom of the 1-hour as well. You see where that intersection is? Look at that failure on that one 4-hour candle. It tests both of these channels here. So if you're paying attention to this distribution, you can see right where it found support. And you saw yet again, look at that. So once again, we're failing the top of the channel from this previous distribution. And we're testing that lower channel there on the 4-hour. So the white is the 4-hour, the blue is the 1-hour. So you can see that 4-hour channel there. And then the 1-hour channel here. So what I'm looking for to add on to my shorts, because I was waiting for confirmation, I wanted to short a break of this level. Since it happened overnight and it happened so quickly, I was not able to get in on that move. So now what I'm waiting for is a retest of kind of that 89 to 9,000 range, this kind of distribution right here. So if you wanted to, it would be a little messy here, but you could take kind of another parallel channel. You can see how messy that is, but that's basically what I'm watching for. I'm watching for the distribution right here to be tested. So if we see kind of a price move up and then a rejection downward, I'll be looking to add onto my shorts here and then closing my shorts down below, probably around 83 to 8,000, somewhere around there. But yeah, so just looking at the price action here, you can see the moving averages are all kind of going into a bullish format. You're slowly starting to rise on your daily. 12 hours almost 100% bullish. Your 8 hours almost 100% bullish. Your 4 hours completely uptrending. But you can see on the momentum you're getting a lot of bear divs, like I was saying. 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour. You even had like 1 hour, 15 minute. Basically every time frame you were having bear divs, which I said in Discord to look out for, because if you guys were bullish, you could have made some good money on the short term, but longing those moves are extremely risky. So that's why I've been sitting back. I've been sitting back waiting for a better trade, because if you're not already in a long from lower, you don't want to long these upper levels. Even though you are seeing breakouts consistently, you don't want to long these upper levels, because we saw massive bear divs on multiple time frames. Not only that, we saw liquidity resting below on multiple levels. So if I go over here to this chart here, this is the same chart we've been posting in Discord and updating on stream for, I don't know how long, probably about a few weeks or so. You can see how the levels are reacting perfectly to price, or price is reacting to the levels. You can see a sell-off there. You have a small deviation here, and then you have that sell-off, and now you're bouncing kind of on that second resistance that is now support. So you are seeing that the resistance flip into support here. But what I was talking about was, if you guys are looking at these kind of bear divs, right, these upper moves here, this little triple peak where you have that peak, distribution, peak. When you have these triple peaks like this, you typically have liquidity resting below these levels. So when you have liquidity resting below the levels, and then you see the bear divs coming in, you don't want to long this, because not only has this liquidity not been tested, but you're also seeing bear divs. So longing up here is terrible, because you're going to get in kind of what I was talking about on Twitter, where you have the late bulls, even some of the early bulls are all being punished. And the FOMO longers, they're all being punished because they got in way too late and they thought it was going to continue to keep breaking out and then resetting levels. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to keep doing that forever. You can see we've basically been doing that all the way since this blue pivot here around 69 to 7,000. This is basically where we longed. So we could have held on to our long all the way up to our final target around 9,000, but we didn't do that. We sold pretty early. I sold around 79 to 8,000. So I left a lot of profit on the table there, but it's still a very good trade. But you can see all the way up, liquidity, resting. You had a liquidity grab here, so you grabbed a little bit there, resting liquidity, resting liquidity, resting liquidity. So basically all of these little distributions have never been tested. So longing, when you see something like that, and you're seeing bear divs above that liquidity, it's just not a good play. So you saw the bear divs start to play out here, and now you're starting to see the price failure. I think you will probably see some buy pressure coming in just because the sell-off was so quick and so powerful. The books are pretty clean. That's why you saw that massive little $200 kind of scam wick here. It's because the books were so clean after this little failure. So once the books are cleaned out, they can really push price where they want to push it. You can see how beautiful in hindsight the OTS is, even on the 1 minute. You can see all these pivots pretty much calling every single bottom. And then you have the orange pivots calling nearly every single top. But yeah, so once the books are clean, they can really push it around as much as they want because there's not so much liquidity in the books. So you had that really strong kind of scam wick to both sides. Now, one thing that I told you guys I was waiting for, which is currently happening, I told you guys I was waiting for that weekly sell signal. And now look at what's happening. We wicked the weekly trail, and now we're pulling back below the trail and below that 3-day pivot. So this 3-day pivot from way back in May has acted as a beautiful level for the bottom of the distribution, and then a retest kind of around here where we broke through, and now we're popping back and retesting it. So this pivot, along with the trail, is acting as perfect resistance, and you're seeing that sell signal come in because we are wicking that trail. Now, that is another reason why I'm looking to add on to my shorts here, because I think that we will see a retest of around 8,000 minimum, and then probably even around 75 to probably 78 is where I'm looking. That's if we continue to wick this trail here. We are going to close here in the next 2 hours. So if it closes with a sell signal here, this is lining up perfectly with that kind of fractal back in 2018. Where you saw that pop up and then you failed off the trail and then you nuked downward. So keeping an eye on that. Funny thing is, this yellow line here is my remaining short. So I closed a lot of my short already. Thankfully, I would have taken a pretty big loss if I held on to it. But I closed a lot of my short on this distribution up. And when it nuked downward, it bounced off my break-even to the exact dollar. My break-even is 84.30. The low of this candle is 84.30. So that was quite funny. But I didn't close break-even, so we're still in our short. Hey, Nader, what's going on, man? Sawyer said, glad to catch a stream since Christmas. Shit's been crazy. I know, man. I feel you. I'm extremely busy. I've been running around doing a bunch of shit. IRL, been doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes for the group. I'm looking to get some more partners to join us in the group. We're looking to start our write-ups really soon. We got a lot of stuff planned. We're working on more bots for the group as well. We got a lot of stuff coming. I know I haven't been trading as much actively in December or January as I have been the past 3 or 4 months. But that's just because I'm focusing very heavily right now on the Discord group and expanding. Once the Discord is kind of where I want it to be, which it should be pretty soon, then I'm going to start trading very actively again. But for now, I want to get the Discord to where I want it to be. If you guys are in our Discord, you can tell we got a lot of stuff changing every now and then, and we got a lot more content on the way. Hey, what's going on, Joe? You see the CME gap fill? I did not check that yet. Let's take a look. So we do have a gap down here on the CME. So we can go ahead and create a new gap. So this would be a beautiful target if we... This would be a beautiful target if we fell down to where I'm expecting, and then pop back up to fill that gap. I almost took this trade. I should have taken this trade, but it just didn't seem like it was good enough. Good enough for me. But the spread trade you had, we talked about this on stream. I think we talked about it either last stream or the stream before. We talked about the contango trade that you could have taken, where you had that $200 to $300 spread on the what is that? The March contract. You could have sold the March contract, bought the perpetual for the same size. You basically have no risk. Well, I say no risk, but you have limited risk. The risk that you have is the contracts expanding the spread. If the spread tightens, you make money. So if you took that spread trade around 280 to 260, 240, you'd be making money. If you guys haven't been keeping up with my updates on stream, oh, that's something to note there. 4-hour trail flipping red. 4-hour trail flipping red here. We also have the 4-hour Momo losing the level. What I was saying was, if you guys haven't been keeping up with my updates, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we are going to be rolling out a major update to the Discord, where we're going to be doing weekly and monthly write-ups for a lot of the major assets. So if you're already a member of the Discord, it's going to be free of charge, obviously. It's going to be an add-on to the Discord. They're going to be very well written, well organized, structured. It's not just going to be like a simple, just a simple write-up. We're going to be doing probably multiple pages, obviously, of write-ups. So we're going to be doing assets such as like Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, the SPY, oil. We're going to be doing a lot of different major assets. So not only crypto, we're going to be doing equities and commodities as well. So if you guys are part of the Discord, make sure to look out for that. I'll give you guys some updates when we get closer. I'm probably going to make a kind of a mock write-up pretty soon. And then I'll let you guys kind of give us feedback on what you think. And then we'll make a final version starting probably in the next 3 weeks or so. What happened to the trading bot test? I'm putting that on the back burner. So if you're talking about like doing the... Are you talking about when I was doing like Python and stuff like that? What's going on, Gyro? Watch out, your Bitcoin password might change itself. Yeah, Turnip, if you're talking about like the Python stuff, I'm just putting that on the back burner for now. Focusing more on the Discord for right now. As you guys know, as you should know, Turnip, you've been a long time viewer of mine. Winter is the busiest time of the year for me. I have a lot of stuff that I do IRL outside of trading in the winter. I also am going back to school for the spring semester, and then I do all my trading and business stuff as well. So winter is extremely busy. So I kind of have to put some other projects that I was working on in like the fall or the summer. I got to put those on the back burner for now. Get up to speed on everything else, and then once the summer comes around, or probably even like a month or so from now, I'll have enough time to kind of go back to it. Oh yeah, you're talking about the Peter Schiff thing? I saw that on Twitter. I didn't see that he said his password changed. That's hilarious. I saw he was bitching about something crypto related. This 4-hour pivot's beautiful on Ethereum. So if you guys have been following my Ethereum analysis, it's been the same for the past like month plus. We were watching for that massive bull div on the weekly for Ethereum. We were targeting the low here around 170 and then the high here around 205. So if you guys took profit on that low there, very, very nice trade. You had about a 25 to 30% gain. Sadly, I actually missed this trade. I was going for one more pullback. I was getting a little greedy. I thought I was going to pull back one more time, and I missed this massive impulse here. But if you guys took that trade, you could have seen like about a 25 to 26% gain. So very good trade. Now, I think we are going to pull back before we hit our second target. The second target will probably be within the next 3 or 4 months if we don't create a new low. Looking back towards like commodities and equities, if we look at the weekly on crude oil, we look pretty good. You had a massive failure because of the whole Iran thing that went down. People were expecting the tensions to continue to rise, and then they kind of just simmered out. And then you saw a big failure in oil. This is also due to the massive supply increase from the United States. So if you guys keep up with like the EIA announcements or just the different supply and demand announcements on oil, you can see that the United States is continuing to increase its supply, its production. So we are becoming more of a player in the production of oil, which is hurting the price of crude. So we will see what happens on Wednesday. Wednesday will come out with a new EIA announcement talking about the supply and demand. I probably wouldn't make a directional decision until that comes out. But you are seeing some pretty strong accumulation on the weekly. You kind of have an ascending triangle. So we are still playing towards this accumulation. Now for stocks, let me see what I can show you guys. These are all older ones. I can't remember which one I show you on stream and which one I don't. Let me go over here real fast. Here we go. We can go over this one. Sorry, some of this stuff I can't show because it's just for Discord. This is one of our older options watch list here. Thoughts on Neo? Yeah, we can go over Neo. Let me take a look at some stocks for right now. So Zuo, continuing its massive accumulation that's been going on for damn near a year now. We have had 230 days of accumulation on Zuo. When this breaks out, if this breaks to the upside, you could easily see $20 to $21. So keep an eye on Zuo. It's still failing the top of the accumulation, so it's not ready just yet. You can see perfect failure on the top there. that pivot called the top on pretty much every single move. You saw the pivot be formed here, and it called the top on every single one of these days, all the days here, and then all the days there. So you also have that pivot form here, and then look at the bottom here. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful range created by the OTS pivots. And until these pivots break, there's no reason to trade against this accumulation. So still going to be accumulating until otherwise. Let's actually put some alerts out here. Make sure we're keeping an eye on this. All right, Starbucks, another one, just broke out of a pretty strong pivot here on the daily. Nice buy signal came in on the OTS. Beautiful breakout, about 7.5% so far. You have earnings coming up. The target for Starbucks would have been around 95.65. I actually almost took this option back around here, but I ended up not taking it. Tyson looks like it's distributing, rolling over a little bit, losing momentum. Yeah, weekly's got a bear div as well. Snapchat, this looks horrible here. This evening star, gap up into an evening star. So if tomorrow, or sorry, tomorrow, so Monday, if Monday gaps down slightly and closes, this will be a perfect evening star, basically. And you could target a failure, probably down to like 1720, 1730. So keep an eye on Snapchat there. I'm going to put some alerts on Snapchat as well. Coca-Cola looking pretty good, climbing. You are losing momentum, small bear div coming in. You also have some top dojis here, so you probably will pull back. Oh yeah, sorry, they're not open. The market is not open tomorrow. Very good call, Hockey. Martin Luther King Day tomorrow, so it is a holiday. The markets do not open until Tuesday. Good call, good call. AMD still continuing its rise. If you guys are trading the OTS, you've been having the easiest trade of your life on this one. You can see that black to white shift. You can see the red to black shift on the trail. And then you can see the Momo flipping from bearish to bullish. And then you just ride up that OTS and the trail all the way up. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Weekly, same thing. You've basically been white the entire way up. You had a little bit of a failure here, small distribution here, which did not break the trail. And then you've just been climbing ever since. Beautiful momentum. Very strong strength on AMD. I would not short AMD. Obviously, if you're trying to short this, it's the same thing as trying to knife catch. But you're just doing it in the opposite direction. Be very careful. Pepsi looking really good, breaking out of a distribution here. We actually called Pepsi out, what was that, last week? Let me check Discord. I called Pepsi out on Wednesday. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful break there. Holy shit, look at that. That is up almost 4% since where I called it. Broke out of the distribution high, broke that pivot, broke the deviation there. Very nice gain in momentum coming in. Looks pretty solid. Take a look. Microsoft climbing pretty rapidly here. Same thing like AMD. Very strong trend on the upside. You can see that red to green flip on the trail. You see the momentum shift bullish on the Momo. You can see the black to white shift on the OTS. And you're just climbing all the way up. Beautiful uptrend on Microsoft. Be careful shorting that one. Looks like Oracle is trying really hard to break out of resistance here. You have a cluster resistance. You got pivots. You got the trail. You got a 200 EMA. You got a lot of stuff. If it's able to SR flip this and stay above this range, around 54, anything above 54, it's looking pretty solid. You are getting a weekly sell signal. You've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sell signals here. So you are definitely seeing some bearish momentum. You have earnings coming up in March. Veritone trying to accumulate here, but it's getting pretty much destroyed. I would not buy this here. Keep an eye on it, though. If it breaks above $3, maybe. Disney not looking too bad. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly pulling back and testing this pivot. If it bounces next week, this could be a strong bounce. Let's take a look at glue. Trying to bounce off the 200 EMA here on the weekly. Doesn't look too bad. If it gets above like 640, looks pretty clean. I'd watch glue. Probably around 640, 650-ish. MGM climbing on the daily. You can see multiple buy signals pushing that up. Micron climbing as well. Looking like a little bit of a distribution. Massive bear div. Probably could look for puts on Micron down to 54, maybe 55. You're also approaching a weekly pivot as well. PayPal looking pretty strong, breaking out of the 200 EMA test. Pretty nice Quasimodo coming on the daily. Yeah, looks really solid. You have a red to green flip on the OTS trail on PayPal. So if that next pullback, stays above the trail, it's looking really strong to continue its uptrend. Hey Trist, you said, why have you picked the stocks you're showing? Most of these are just stuff that I used to trade. They're like tech industry stuff or just big name blue chip companies. They're ones that have really good option prices. They've got good option volume. They've got good stock volume. It's just they're easy to trade basically. They've got good stats. That's where most of them were chosen from. Just big name companies that have good volume, that are easily traded on Robinhood. Cisco looking really good here. Quasimodo regaining the support, holding that trail, breaking the pivot, breaking the 200 EMA. If this next pullback, same thing like on PayPal. Next pullback, if it stays above this daily trail here, this looks really solid. Beautiful Quasimodo. So do you guys know the Quasimodo pattern? You have that failure, or sorry, you have that support, and then you fail the support, and then you regain that support. So you have that pivot acting as the perfect Quasimodo. Support, failure, regain that support. Beautiful example of a Quasimodo here. Chesapeake, I wouldn't trade that. Uber looking really good. We called out Uber a long time ago. We actually took an options trade on this. I closed it pretty early, but had a nice gain on it. I think it was like 80% or something. Beautiful break of accumulation. You broke back above this low here. Almost the same exact thing. Pretty much a Quasimodo on Uber as well. You have that level, you lost the level, and then you regained it. You could say that was a regain or that was a regain, and then you popped up. Beautiful, beautiful price action here. You can see the red to green flip on the trail. You stayed green the entire way up. You have that bull div that came in right here. This is where we called out Uber in our Discord. So if you guys were in our Discord at the time, you were able to trade that. I know a lot of you guys did. You sent me messages about Uber. It was one of our biggest plays of that month. You have that weekly bull div, also a daily bull div. So beautiful bull div playing out. You broke the lower target and you broke the higher target. So that bull div has been played. So don't use that as your what would you say, as your trigger. It's already been played. You have the bull div here, lower target, upper target. Both the red lines here, tap tap, easy trade. So as long as you stay above the trail, as long as you stay above this level, Uber looks good to continue upward. Probably retest this pivot around 39 within the next month or two if you do continue higher. Let's take a look. Carnival looks pretty good. You regained that gap there. You had a gap fill. Same exact thing. Once again, Quasimodo. You guys really need to learn this pattern because it happens a lot on stocks where you have these long accumulation. You have that level, failure of the level, regain the level. And then you pop up, boom. You can see that OTS trail flipping from red to green, indicating the trend shifting into an uptrend. Buy signal, buy signal, buy signal. Resistance on that pivot, broke the pivot. Resistance on the 200 EMA, then you broke the 200 EMA. Now you're retesting the trail and you're retesting the 200 EMA, pushing higher. This chart right here shows you exactly why I have all these indicators on my screen. Basically, everything you're seeing right here is playing to my indicators perfectly. Caesar completely shifted from a downtrend into an uptrend here. You can see that massive failure that Caesar was having. I think we shorted this back not a few months ago. Same thing here. You have that red to green flip, buy signal, breakout, good momentum on the Momo. Flip the pivot, flip the pivot, flip the pivot. Looking really strong. You have that beautiful shift in momentum right there. This is a bear trap. So if you guys trade the Momo, you need to learn this right here. When you see that trend line going from bearish to bullish, and then you see that short-term momentum failing heavily, but then the long-term momentum is kind of staying bullish, and then you see it flip, this is triggering a bear trap. So these bears are getting trapped. So once it breaks that momentum, once it breaks upward, and you can see that bullish flip, this is a bear trap. Beautiful long signal right here. If you guys trade the Momo, just go to the write-up page on the Momo screen, and I talk about how to find those bull traps and bear traps. Beyond, we called this one out a while ago. You had that, what was it, a daily? Yeah, daily bull div. Massive daily bull div here. Broke out for 85%. I don't even remember calling this out in Discord. But if anybody took this, beautiful trade. I think I was talking to Dime about this one. All right, let's take a look. Do we have any more? Activision looking pretty good, breaking out of this daily distribution. Really nice test of the trail there, breaking that pivot, flipping the pivot. Looks like you're heading towards our daily gap fill. You can see this gap is finally about to be filled. 6281 will be that gap fill. Twitter also trying to flip into an uptrend here. You're below the 200 EMA though, so probably will see a failure of the 200 EMA. If it pulls back and stays above the trail, you can see how we got a buy signal here. You could have also played that pullback. So if we do see a pullback from the 200, I'd probably wait for earnings. So if it pulls back, wait for the earnings. If the earnings are good, you could probably look to long Twitter. I think all these are just kind of shitty companies. We do have NVIDIA here. NVIDIA, nice little uptrend here. Beautiful accumulation. Breaking out to the upside. Trail flipped from red to green. You also see that flip on the Momo. Massive gain in momentum. Almost a bull div. Right there. Massive gain in momentum. Pop up. And you can see that bullish shift from black to white on the indicators. Nice uptrend here. You could short it for maybe a small pullback towards the trail, which lines up perfectly with that level there, which is along that pivot. Probably look for a buy around 210, maybe 220. Beautiful pullback on SLV right into our zone. Now we're popping into that pivot. So whoever asked about SLV a few weeks ago, Perfect bounce, right where we were expecting it to. Don't remember who it was, but it was one of you guys in chat. You guys asked about SLV, so hopefully you guys listened to that analysis there. Let me catch up with chat. We'll do your request before I keep going here. You guys wanted to take a look at Neo. I'm not sure if you were talking about the stock or the crypto. I'll just do both really quickly. The crypto is in an uptrend, but it's extremely volatile, so be very careful here. You're shifting into a downtrend. You can see that white to black. You're flipping the trail into a bearish trail. You're not red just yet, but you are back below that pivot. So until you get above this pivot around 1300, I would not be longing Neo. This looks like it is trying to form like a parallel channel here. Trying to line it up with all three of these tops here. That's about as close as you're going to get it. And then Neo USD, we can do that as well. Yeah, same thing. Very strong uptrend, but very volatile. You got to be careful. It's also breaking pretty heavily to the downside here, which is probably due to the volatility in Bitcoin. But if you regain about 1130, 1140, it could look pretty good here. Probably retest the high. What else did you guys want to look at? Let's see. MasterCard, let's take a look. MasterCard was one of the first stocks I bought when I started trading stocks when I was 18. Sadly, I did not hold on to it. If I held on to it, holy shit, I would have made some money. That was back in 2014, I believe. Yeah, so I bought MasterCard around 75, 65. I could have been up 340%. MasterCard, Pepsi, Johnson & Johnson, Honeywell, Hewlett Packard before they went out, they changed their stock. Who else? There was a military contractor. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was Northrop Grumman. I always butcher their name. Northrop. Bank of America I also used to buy. Sadly, I didn't hold any of them long term. If I held them long term, I'd be making some money. But I was 18. I had like no money. My account was like less than $1,000, I think. It was pretty low. Alright, where were we? We were on WBA, I believe. He said, what do you think about Honeywell? Oh, sorry, I didn't really go over MasterCard. Sorry, I kind of went off topic. I wouldn't short MasterCard. If you wanted to DCA into it, dollar cost average, I could see that. I'd be very careful with just opening a large position where it is currently, because you're really high up, obviously. But if you want a dollar cost average into this, you can see you could have dollar cost averaged all the way up, and you'd be looking really good. But problem is, you buy like a big position here, and then you take a loss here. Not looking too good. It really depends on your trading style. MasterCard is really good historically long term. So short term, you got to be careful. But long term, historically, look at this. Look at how clean this is on the OTS. We don't have a single black bar since like 2008, 2009. We've been white on the OTS. Massive buy signals. The Momo has been bullish. Look at how bullish the Momo is. If you're a long-term trader, holy shit, MasterCard was easy. But you see how vertical this is? You see how far away it is from its trail, from its support? That's why I'd be very careful opening a big position here. I'd wait for a pullback, or I would dollar cost average into it. Never look back, always look forward. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Honeywell. Let's take a look at Honeywell. Honeywell, same thing. Looking really strong long term. This is actually looking better than MasterCard because you're not so far off your supports. So if you kind of pull back into your supports here, you could still buy the dip and be pretty safe. I'd probably see how it reacts to a failure around 180, 177. It looks like it's losing steam, so if it pulls back below 182, you're probably going to see like 180, 177. Facebook, we can take a look at Facebook. Facebook looking really clean, breaking out of that distribution. You had a perfect failure on that level, pullback, buy signals came in, bounced off that pivot. A little bit of resistance on that level, and then you broke right out of it. So looking really strong here. If their earnings are good, this will continue upward. Definitely will continue upward. You broke out of all your strong resistance. So as long as those earnings are good, or even like mediocre, if they're like slightly good, Facebook should continue higher. What else do we got here? Boeing. Let's take a look at Boeing. Boeing looking pretty bad. You broke that daily accumulation there. Broke that pivot. Weekly broke that accumulation as well. Yeah, looking pretty bad. Looking pretty bad. The only thing that would save Boeing here is good earnings. If they have good earnings, it will bounce them. If they do not have good earnings, you do have a little bit of support kind of on this weekly candle right here. You also have the 200 EMA coming in on the weekly, which is really strong. You're right on the 200 EMA on the 3-day, which is good, but you're kind of breaking through it. Yeah, so if I had to judge this long term, I would look at this as the distribution high. This is the distribution low. Right here. This becomes the deviation. And then this becomes very clean. You can see high to low, deviation, failure of the high, failure of the high, failure of the upper level. And then you are failing down towards the low again. So the play here would be a bounce of the distribution low. Now your bearish play would be a failure of the distribution low. Your bullish play would be a test of this deviation and a support flip of the high. So if you break out, let's say to the upside here, and you test this deviation, you're gonna hit some resistance. That deviation is gonna give you resistance. But when you pull back after testing that deviation, as long as you stay above the high, that is a very strong buy signal. Let me actually grab that. I really like that on Boeing. I'm going to post that in Discord. I like that setup a lot. I'm going to write this out as well. Here, give me a second. I'm going to write this out for Discord, and then I'm going to post it up. Alright, let me post this real fast. What is this for, Boeing? Hey, Cash, what's going on, man? Alright, PG&E, I'll do this, and then we're going to go back to crypto. What is PG&E's stock? PCG? Same thing, it looks really strong. Breaking out of an accumulation. Nice little pivot. You can see a lot of resistance came in on that trail. Then you flipped it red to green. Nice little buy signals there on the retest. Now we're approaching that 200 EMA. So we are trying to fill the gap here. You can see this little gap. We're trying to fill the gap. It most likely will fill the gap. But once it fills the gap, it's probably going to run into a lot of resistance here and then pull back towards the trail. So I'd probably wait to see how it reacts to that 200. Oh, I think I have my alerts turned off, Gyro. I think that's what's happening. Let me see. Oh, I do have my alerts turned off. Sorry, guys. You guys subbed recently. I had my alerts turned off. Money Stacks, appreciate the follow. Cool Baron, appreciate the follow. Arby's and Chill, I like the name, man. Appreciate the follow. Turn Up, you resubbed for 11 months. That's crazy, man. I appreciate that. Sorry I missed that, dude. I had my alerts turned off for my last video that I was making. And then Gyro, resub for 11 months. Both of you guys, 11 months. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. One more month for that 1 year mark for both of you guys. Here, I can actually redo these, I think. I'm not sure if it will pop up. No, it didn't pop up. Yeah, no problem, Trist. This pullback was way overdue, to be honest. I had a limit buy at 84.75, which got filled. Nice, man. Yeah, we talked about this a lot in Discord on stream. Everybody was basically predicting this failure. We just didn't know when it was going to happen. I called out in Discord right before it nuked. So we called the top pretty much perfectly. Just didn't trade it, sadly. But yeah, if you guys check the Discord, I did call that would be a perfect place for it to top. And that's exactly what we saw. So, beautiful play. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to run downstairs, get some food real fast, get a drink. Be right back. We'll be streaming for another hour or so. We're going to stream until 8. So we can get the daily close, we can get the weekly close, and then we're also going to stream for like an hour after the close. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Daily close just happened. Take a look at it. Daily candle is a Darth Maul candle, one with those two major wicks on both sides. The weekly closing... Oh my god, did it not do it? Wow. The weekly closed just above the trail. So it did not give a sell signal. Look at that. The trail was around like 86.74, 86.80. It closed at 86. No, it closed at 87. About $20 over the trail. That's crazy. That is crazy. $20. So the daily is a Darth Maul, not really indicative of which direction it wants to go. The weekly, pretty strong sell-off, but did not give that sell signal, sadly. The 3-day, failing the 72 moving average basically to the dot. And then also creating a pivot bar. That'll be something to watch. What do you guys think? You guys think we see a continuation of this massive trend on this week? Or you think we're pulling back? It's hard to say here, honestly. The 1 hour is bouncing off the 200 EMA, still below the trail though. You had 845 million volume in this candle. This candle has 400 million. Let's go to Exo charts and take a look at this. Look at how disgusting that is in a tick chart. Jesus. Not a single green box in this entire move. It's nuts. You can see there's no value there, really. You got these two distribution days here, nice balanced profiles. And then you see a sweep of the high, a sweep of the low. Your POC, pretty balanced actually. This little move here is pretty balanced. But this upper area here, very inefficient. This is complete inefficiency. So basically what I'm looking for, same thing that I showed you on the price chart, that I can show you on the volume profile here. The same thing I'm looking for is these two little distributions here. If we pop up and retest these distribution days, I want to see a failure of like 88.90 to 89.20, 89.50. I don't really want to see anything above this value area high here. So above like 89.70 is starting to look pretty bad. If we break above 89.70, but then start to kind of wick downward, that's really good as well. But I don't want to see this get above this range here, the previous day value area high, and then the value area highs of these 2 days as well. But a retest of those value ranges there would be a really good short. Funny thing is, on the Delta chart, this looks exactly like a pattern that I used to teach all the time. The bulldog, where you see that double bottom into that pop up into that kind of pullback. This looks exactly like a bulldog. What do I think about the CME Open? The CME opened a few hours ago, actually. We have a gap. It is trying to fill the gap, but that's what we want to happen. We want it to pop up, try to fill the gap, and we want it to fail downward. This would line up perfectly with what I'm planning on happening. Jack said we're pulling back to 78 or 8,000. Yeah, I hope so. I think we're going to see one more kind of impulse up, probably the late buyers, all the guys who want to buy the dip, and then the whales are going to sell it off. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah, Cash, so that fractal we've been watching is playing to perfection. So as long as this fractal continues to play to perfection, I'm going to be macro bearish. You see this 6 right here that we've been expecting? So far, it's perfect. We were expecting a price target between 3 and 4. So above 3, but below 4. So anywhere kind of in this range here. And then look exactly where it hit. Now this is what I was talking about the other day, where I had the perfect entry. I had the perfect target, but I mistraded here. This last little pullback got me to close my long. So I took profit, but my target was perfect. So little mistake here on my part, but really nice profit on my end, but we could have made way more. So far, this is doing exactly what we predicted 2 months ago. Or a month and a half ago. And if you guys don't believe me, it's on stream, it's on Twitter, it's on Discord. We've been predicting this price action for a month and a half. And we damn near called the bottom and we damn near called the top. So as long as this continues to play to that prediction, there's no reason for me to be bullish here. This is based on the 2018 fractal. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The indicators are damn near the same. The price action is damn near the same. The OTS trail is damn near the same. Pretty much everything is almost exactly the same. What's crazy is you can take it farther and go down to a lower time frame, which we did this on stream. You can take it down to like a 4-hour time frame, and there's still almost, there's obviously not, it's not exact, but there's little discrepancies. It looks pretty much the same even on the 4-hour. Sorry guys, I'm just eating while we're streaming. These Sunday night streams are a little weird timing because it's like right when I'm eating dinner. The hash ribbon buy signal breaking out of the 6-month descending channel. The daily 21 EMA and 55 EMA golden cross. RSI breaking levels we haven't in months. Also, no, they're definitely not insignificant. And believe me, I want to be bullish. I want to be wrong. I do not want to get back into a bear market. But when I found something that has called this entire move nearly 2 months in advance, I can't get to this point and ignore it. I'm not even a fractal trader. You guys know that. I don't trade fractals like this. I hate this kind of trading. I don't hate it, but it's just, it's not what I do. This is not my style of trading. I like price action trading, like finding patterns and whatnot, but I don't like taking giant fractals like this and then using it to trade. But this fractal is too good to ignore. And like I said, I can't ignore it. So I'm bearish. The only time I'm going to start ignoring it is if we break this high. If we break 95 to 96 and create a higher high, the fractal is invalidated. Once the fractal is invalidated, I need to look for a completely different theory. But my theory as of right now is still bearish. Which, like I said, I really hope I'm wrong because I do not want to go back into a bear market. The engagement on like Twitter and just the community as a whole is already pitiful compared to what we saw in 2017. If we hit another bear market, imagine what the community and what the engagement's going to be like. Trish said it coincides with the typical December rally and the January pump. Or sorry, coincides with the typical December rally and the January dump. Late this year, yeah. It could. It could. Jack, you said Litecoin? We can take a look at Litecoin. Looking exactly the same on Litecoin. Damn near failed off that target we had. Almost to the dollar. We missed it by like 30 cents. Damn near hit that target. But we are currently failing the 200, just as we saw on Ethereum as well. So both Ethereum and Litecoin are hitting their 200 daily moving average. So same thing. I would not long this. You would be a late longer. You would get punished. You could short here, but could be a little early. You'd be shorting the bottom of a distribution. Yeah, I wouldn't short the bottom of a distribution. You said, so you see us making lower low? Yeah, so if the fractal's correct, we're going to go back down to like 5,000. Sorry, let me finish that. He said, so you see us making lower lows than 6,400. And yes, if the fractal is correct, the lower target would be around like 5,000. Which is pretty brutal. It is very brutal. You could even go further, to be honest. You could even go further. You could go to like 4,000. I don't think this fractal is going to play out exactly. What I think is going to happen, if I am right, I think we're going to see a pullback like we did here. So I think we're going to see this pullback. Maybe sweep the lows here. Or maybe even just test the lows. And then I think we're going to bounce and break the fractal. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think the fractal is going to play to perfection and fail down to like 5,000. Now, it could. But I feel like... I feel like this little move here that failed in 2018, I don't see it failing in 2020. I think this failure here is going to break the fractal. That's my prediction, but I have no evidence or no backing to that. That's just what I'm feeling. So we'll see how it plays out. But that's what I'm guessing. The 8 hour is holding the trail here. Looks like the momentum is failing, though. You probably will roll over. You probably will roll over here. So really funny here. Really funny. Both my accounts, my main account and my high risk account, are both short. This short is it's like 0.5x, very, very low. It's just the remaining short that I kept open from my previous trade. This tapped my break even pretty much perfectly, and then it bounced. Where this bounced is basically my average for my other account short. So this is my average for my main account. Basically, this is my average for my high risk account. So really funny where we're seeing the support come in. So one more long squeeze before the actual reversal. No, there shouldn't be a long squeeze. Or, sorry, do you mean... Sorry, no, okay. Yeah, sorry. You're saying one more long squeeze, like squeezing the longs, and then reversing to the upside. Yeah, I think so. I think one more big failure downward, grab the liquidity, and then this accumulation, I feel like, is going to be too strong. It's either going to give you a deviation, or it's just going to act as support. But we will see, man. We will see. I don't know. Like you guys know, I don't like predicting that far in the future. That's why I don't really like using fractals like this. But so far, this is like my best long-term prediction. So I'm going to keep going with it. I typically do not predict farther than like a week or two out. We predicted this like a month and a half out. So this is like my longest long-term prediction I've ever made. He said, I think I'll short if we close a 12-hour below 84.50. Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like that. You do have a little bit of support coming in, kind of these two pivots like right here. But I can see what you're going for. This is pretty strong buy pressure right here, so we maybe one more failure. It might try to bounce, but I'm looking for a failure around this doji high. Basically, I don't want to see anything above that doji. I don't want to see anything above the doji. Which you could raise it a little bit on the daily if you want to. Just kind of that range, that doji. This price action has been absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Sorry guys, if you guys are wondering what this layout is, this is my nighttime layout, so like when I'm doing late night trading or whatnot. I made my background a darker color so it doesn't blind me during like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Yeah, Cash, that's why I'm not really trading too much, man. There's a lot of choppy price action. I can see both ways right here. I can see the bullish play, I can see the bearish play. I'm leaning more bearish. If you guys are wondering what these moving averages are, here you go. The green is a 12, the purple is a 72 moving average. EMAs, the orange is a 32, the yellow is a 200, the blue is a 144 volume weighted. I don't trade based on moving averages. This is just my late night chart that I just like looking at it. It gives me a nice little picture of what's going on. And I'm also getting ready to make a new video on advanced techniques with moving averages, such as like moving average clusters, moving average patterns. Cash, this is like the first one I'm really ever using. I'm doing a small experiment with it. I posted it in Discord. I'm not going to talk about it on stream until like probably way later after I'm done experimenting. But I'm doing a small experiment with the 144. So far, it's pretty good. It's not too bad. It's the teal one. Just experimenting. All the other moving averages are some of the most used moving averages that I use throughout my trading. The 12 and the 72, I started using back when I was in futures trading, and then I kind of used it in my crypto trading as well because it's 24/7. And I found that the 12 and the 72 are beautiful on the 1 hour because of the 24/7 market. Because the 12 hour is half a day, the 72 is 3 days. of data because it is a 24/7 market, so it lines up beautifully. And then also, if you're on a 5-minute, the 12 is a 1 hour, and then the 72 is a 6 hour. No, I never do Fib clusters. The only thing I use Fibonacci for is for my buy zone strategy, which I made a video on, but I haven't posted yet. I need to post that. We actually have a new partner for our Discord. Crypto Fibonacci on Twitter, if you guys want to check him out. If you guys like Fibonacci trading, his name is Crypto Fibonacci. He's going to be joining us on providing analysis and whatnot into our Discord in the future. We also are going to have him help us out on the write-ups as well. And he does Fib clusters, and he does a lot of Fibonacci stuff. I'm working with a couple of big names behind the scenes. I'm trying to get more people involved in our Discord. It should be pretty cool here in the next few weeks, few months. Make sure you guys get involved, because like I told you guys before, just being straight up, the more content we put into the Discord, the more bots and the more tools and more people we bring on, we will be raising the price of the Discord to match the content that we are providing. So make sure if you guys ever want to get involved, the sooner you get involved, the cheaper it will be. Yeah, I love Smokey, man. I love Smokey. Smokey XBT is one of my favorite traders. I've talked to him a lot in one of our old groups. I've known him for a little bit. We used to talk about Ichimoku a lot. I ran by him my Ichimoku trading strategy, and he really liked it. And he uses kind of a similar strategy for his trading. So me and him, we definitely got along. He's a good dude. I'd love to have him in the group. I know he's kind of doing his own thing for now, but I would love to have him as a partner. We're going to do great things, man. This group is very different from what you guys are typically used to seeing. And just by being in the Discord, you can ask anybody in our Discord. It's very different than what you guys would typically see in this space. We are trying to be as professional as possible. We don't try to go about that whole spoon feeding and coin signals and just like all that. We try to stay out of that stuff. We're trying to be a very tight ship. One of the main reasons I created the Discord with Sticky and Gyro and all the other guys is because we're just tired of seeing all the bullshit that goes around in the crypto community. Not only crypto, but just the finance community. Stocks, options, everything. Just so much scamming and so much get-rich-quick bullshit. We're tired of it. We thought we could make a way better group and make a little bit of money while we're doing that. And that's what we're doing. Like I said, we got some more bots coming to you guys pretty soon on equities. So if you guys are equities traders, just keep an eye on that. And if you guys have any ideas for bots or scanners or anything like that, if you just let us know, we got a lot of coders. We got a lot of talent. We can make a lot of shit happen. So if you guys have any ideas that you would like to see in our Discord, just always feel free to let us know in general chat, or you can private message us if you want it to be private. We got a lot of guys that can make shit happen. How come nobody talks about OMG anymore? Are you talking about OMG? Oh, what is it called? Omisigo? Omisigo? Probably just because it's a shitcoin, isn't it? Does it actually do anything beneficial? This is why nobody talks about it. That's why no one talks about it right there. Absolute shitcoin. So what does the Discord offer? What do you mean by bots? I actually made a video on YouTube for a small overview of our Discord. I'll send you a video. I'll send you a link to it. We go over the different bots and scanners and alerts and whatnot that we have. It's this one right here. It's only 4 minutes long. Gives you a nice little intro to our Discord. I'm going to have to update that video in like a few weeks because we are going to be adding some new stuff, so. This may be listed somewhere I haven't seen yet. How do you enter trades via an API or manually through the exchange directly? Stop loss is set manually as well, or how is that done? Yeah, everything I do is manually, yeah. All of my trades are discretionary, meaning I'm sitting at my computer, looking at price action, I'm entering my orders, yada yada. We have nothing automated in my trading. I'm working on automating my trading, but I'm putting that on the back burner. That's what we were talking about in the beginning of stream. Turnip was asking me about my coding for the bots. We were working on strategies to automate my trading, but it's just taking so long, and it's taking so many hours of my time that I have to put it aside for now. I'm not efficient in like Python coding or anything like that. I'm good at Pine script to a certain extent. I know how to do my style of coding, like my logic-based, my math-based indicators. I'm good at that stuff. I'm not good at like full-on coding. So when I'm trying to code my own bots and whatnot, it's a struggle. So we're still trying to learn. Now the bots that you see, Trist, in the Discord, if you go down to the main account API and the high risk account channels, those are API bots that are connected to my accounts. So whenever I take trades, it posts everything that I'm doing instantly. So whenever I place orders, you can go through those channels. It will show you my orders. Now sometimes our server goes down a little bit, and then it won't post my trades. If that ever happens, you'll see that I'll post a screenshot immediately. So if I ever take a trade and it doesn't post immediately into that channel, I'll post a screenshot into the margin trades channel. So since you're new to Discord, if you take a look at margin trades, that's like where we post all of our like BitMEX trading or whatever exchange, FTX, whatever we're using. And then InterDAX comps, since we've been doing those recently, we post our trades for that in there as well. And then we post our equities trades and options trades in the respective channels as well. Now options, I took a little bit of a hit on recently, so I'm taking a break from options. I'm trying to create a new strategy because my old strategy just wasn't good. And it wasn't really a strategy, it was kind of me following it. And I didn't really like the way I was trading it. So I'm taking a step back, creating a new strategy, and then we're going to get back into it pretty shortly. But all of our equities trades have been doing quite well, and our crypto trades have been doing quite well as well. Also, guys, for the Discord, somebody asked me this in a private message, so I wanted to clarify. We are still doing our referral bonus, so if you guys have any friends that want to join the Discord, or you have any buddies that you told about our group or whatnot, if they join off of your recommendation, just make sure to private message me, and you'll get $50 for them joining. No questions asked. We can do it in PayPal, crypto. I could even give you like an Amazon gift card if you want. Whatever you wanted in, we could probably make happen. What else? I think that's basically it on the Discord. Oh, also we're looking for traders still to partner with our group. So if you're somebody who has like your own community and you've been trading for a decent amount of time and you're consistent on posting your own content and whatnot, if you would like to work with us, just send me a private message and I'll take a look at your stuff and see if you're the kind of trader that we're looking for. This move down was pretty much perfect in the volume analysis. If you look at VWAP, you can see that VWAP close right here. You have your distribution, popped up, failed, and then look at where we bounced. We had a little bit of a wick, but we bounced right off that VWAP close and off of that distribution low. So you have a beautiful support below price right now. But like I said, you could easily bounce back up towards kind of this area here or towards this area here around 9,000. And then we're looking for a failure downward towards kind of this VWAP. Yeah, I did cash. Did you? What did you ask? Yeah, I posted a video cache of what we talk about in our Discord. Or sorry, what bots we have in our Discord. They're not bots as in trading bots. They're bots that like pull data. So like we have options bots that pull options data. We have stock bots that pull stock data. We have crypto coin scanners. We have alert scanners. Those kind of bots. We have a Bitcoin price and funding bot. Oh, sorry, the recent question. Yeah, I answered that. Oh, sorry, no, I didn't see that. Sorry, trading is so nuanced, and entries and exits are so context specific. So I don't get how it's possible to automate trading. No, you definitely can automate trading. We were doing quite well when I was building my bots to automate trading. The problem is you can't automate every strategy. Like my trading is very difficult to automate because I'm so discretionary. Meaning there are a lot of factors, and you guys know this if you've watched my stream for a long time. You always ask me a question and I'm like, well, it depends, and then I go over all the factors. That's why it's so hard for me to automate my trading, because I don't have a set in stone code that I follow. Everything I do is very discretionary. So when I'm automating my trading, I'm not automating my discretionary strategy. I'm automating new strategies that I have found that will work on a bot. If that makes sense. I'm not automating my discretionary strategy. It would be way too difficult. I would have to be a fucking Python wizard to know how to do that. You have to find strategies that will work for automation. Now, obviously, if you're like a really smart guy or you're a hedge fund like the big boys, they can automate very discretionary strategies. That's why they make so much money. But if you're a little guy like me who doesn't have an exceptional amount of coding experience and I don't have a shit ton of money to throw around on these automation, I can't create these massive discretionary strategies and automate them. I have to use more of kind of simpler strategies. Now you can still make a lot of money on simple strategies. There's simple moving average crossovers that will make money. It's just how much are you going to be able to beat the market? That's what you want to do with automation. You want to beat the market, right? So you have to figure out how much can I beat the market and how much am I going to risk trying to beat the market with that automation. A high frequency, high leverage BitMEX scalper would be a golden goose. The problem with that is a lot of people try to make stuff like that. The problem with that is, so like, for example, what we saw today. Your little high frequency bot could be killing it, and then it could be getting caught in a move like this, and you could get obliterated. The volatility on Bitcoin makes trades that are like scalping bots very difficult. Because if it gets caught in one wrong move, the volatility is going to destroy it. It's going to wipe out weeks of wins. So the volatility on crypto, just crypto as a whole, is hard to make scalping bots like that don't get wiped out by a couple of big moves. It's not impossible. There's bots out there that make money. One of our guys that we talk to a lot, Ched, or Ronald McDonald on Twitter, he does a lot of bot testing. So if you guys are into that kind of thing, if you guys are into looking at trading bots, follow Ronald McDonald on Twitter. He does a lot of bot testing. He's also in our Discord, so if you guys wanted to ask him any questions or anything, feel free to ask him in Discord. He's one of our guys. Yeah, Ronald McDonald, yep. Did you see Shift saying that he lost? Yeah, we were just talking about that. Lost his password, his Bitcoin wallet. What a guy, dude. What a guy. Having a bot active trading often potentially gets you tax trader status for the rest of your gains, losses for the rest of trading. Regardless if it's making money, just the fact it's trading most open trading days qualifies. So I'm not very I'm not very well educated on all the tax that goes into like automated trading and trading crypto and trading stocks and yada yada. I know enough. I'm not very well educated. I don't ever talk about taxes on stream. That's not something that you guys should ever like ask me about either. I have no problem with you guys talking about it. I just mean like don't ever ask me for tax advice because I'm not educated enough to give you guys tax advice, and I'm not certified in any way. So. Do you mainly figure out stop loss points, position size, etc., or do you have an Excel doc or some other method to help automate? So I do the same size for every trade, unless it's a specific trade where I think it's going to do better. I'll size into it more. Stop losses are typically all based on my methods that I talk about on YouTube and my indicators. So I'll use like OTS pivots. I'll use my doji levels. I'll use my accumulation high, accumulation low, stuff like that. It's just based on my methods. It really depends on what type of setup I'm using. I've got many different setups. And then yes, so I think you're asking about. I lost the word for. You're asking about how I manage trades. And yeah, that's the same thing. It's still based on my methods. So I'll pull down my stop loss if I'm seeing new resistance being put in, new support being put in. I will take profit if I see different things on my indicators. All of my trading is based on my kind of accumulation distribution technique, my momentum technique with the doji levels and whatnot. supplemented with our indicators, the Momo and the OTS mainly, and then Auto SR is a key third. I was talking about this in Discord not too long ago. If you look at the if you look at the 4 hour on the OTS, so I had a strategy that I was using for a couple months there when we were trending. I had a strategy that I was using just purely based on the OTS and the Momo. So what I would look for is when the OTS is turning from black to white and when the Momo is flipping from bearish to bullish. And I would just take the trade and I would follow the trend. Because that's how you make a lot of money. You just follow the trend as long as you can, right? And I stopped using that strategy because we started ranging and we started getting really choppy for so long. But now, looking back at this market, we're starting to trend again. So this strategy could be quite strong. As you can see, just on the 8 hour, look at the 8 hour. We go from black to white. We go from bearish to bullish. And then look at this. You stay bullish the entire way up. Buy signal, buy the dip. Buy the dip. So this one's a little risky here because you are distributing pretty strongly. And you have a pivot coming in above that buy the dip signal. But this is overall basically what my strategy used to be. You just look for shifts in momentum. You look for that shift in trend on the OTS and the Momo. And you just follow it as long as you can. Same thing that we're seeing on the daily. Black to white, bearish to bullish. You can see it on the weekly as well. Black to white, bearish to bullish. White to black, bullish to bearish. What percentage do your proprietary indicators play into your trading? Combined, so like all my indicators combined, I'd say probably 70 to 80%. Probably like 20% discretionary, looking for like my support and resistance. But even then I'm looking for like pivots and whatnot, so yeah, I'd probably say 70 or 80. Because really the only thing that I'm doing without the indicators is stuff like this, where I'm like drawing these levels myself. That's like the only thing I'm doing without the indicators. So stuff like this. When I'm going in and finding these levels, that's like the only thing I'm doing in my trading without using the indicators. I'd probably say easily 70%. Sometimes more. My indicators are very close to my techniques without the indicators. That's why I use them so heavily, because the way that I design them is they're very close to what I would do if I didn't have the indicators, you know what I mean? So like finding distribution and accumulation is a lot easier using the Momo. So if you're not just using the technique, you can use the Momo to do that. Finding shifts in momentum, you can do that with the OTS, you can do that with the Momo. What else do I do? Finding the levels, you can do that with the OTS, with the pivots, or the Auto SR with the support and resistance lines. So like all the stuff that the indicators do are just supplementing what I do without the indicators. They're basically designed to take my discretionary trading and automate it. Hey, Ched, we were just talking about you. So Ched, guys, he is Ronald McDonald, who I was talking about earlier. But yeah, so basically the indicators, they automate my trading as far as it will go without actually buying and selling for you. This is about as close as my discretionary trading is going to get automated. Now, I'll probably have like an epiphany in like a year or two, or maybe even sooner, hopefully, where I'm like, holy shit, I could code this and make it do this. So maybe in like 6 months to a year, I'll probably have another incredible thought and I'll make another indicator. But for right now, these indicators are about as close as I can get my discretionary trading to being automated. The OTS is incredible. I think it's definitely a home run. We were very happy with the final product. So what's funny about the OTS, which I'm thinking about releasing. I'm thinking about upgrading the OTS to allowing the different sources. The OTS actually changes based on the candle source that you provide. Right now, it's based on a source that I'm not going to name because I'm not sure if I'm going to release it yet. It's based on a certain candle source. It's only one source. If you change the candle source, it changes the pivots, it changes the candle coloring, it changes all of it. Basically, it makes it another indicator. So realistically, you could even turn this indicator into a bigger indicator, a further indicator. We found that the current source that it's on is the strongest one. But I'm thinking about releasing it probably within the next version or two to let you guys play with it. Did you code these indicators yourself? Yeah, so the OTS, I coded mostly myself. Gyro did a lot of it as well. The strategy and a lot of it was done by me, and then Gyro put it all together for me and made it better. The Momo was completely coded by Gyro. The AutoSR was completely coded by Gyro. Gyromatical was the guy who was in chat earlier. He is the lead coder. The strategies and the techniques are all provided by me. I just put them into the best layman terms I can, give them to Gyro, and then he creates the indicators. And then I go in and fix them where I need to fix them. He doesn't have a Twitter. He doesn't like being very public. Any schooling training for your trading, or has it been mainly through reading? So I started out reading books. I read a lot of books. I posted them in Discord, actually. If you go to Trading Tips, I posted all the main books that I read when I got started. Sticky also posted his books as well. I started out reading books. I watched a lot. You watched the video? Yeah, dude, I love that video. The Bill Williams video. I watched a lot of videos on YouTube. I found that the videos on YouTube weren't as helpful because it was mainly people just trying to sell you stuff. Like, they would give you a little taste, right? They would show you a little bit of a technique, and then they would try to make you buy shit. So I found that they weren't as helpful, and the techniques that they were kind of teaching were all kind of dog shit. So I stopped watching YouTube videos and just kind of started trading live. I'd say the bulk of my learning is just live trading. Just kind of teaching myself. But a good jump start, like getting you started in trading, if you don't mind reading books, I learned quite a lot reading the books. But it depends on what kind of learner you are. Like, there's different types of learning that people like. Like, some people are visual, some people like reading. I don't mind reading, depending on what kind of the content is, right? The content in the books that I named were pretty easy to follow. But yeah, that video that I talked about, the Impractical Fractal on YouTube, guys, I think all of you guys should watch that video. It's very old school, but the way that he talks about trading will open your eyes a little bit. I actually need to rewatch that video. I haven't watched it in probably like 2 years. Trist, I also opened up tutoring sessions. So if you ever want to do tutoring, take a look at the Discord. I made a channel for it. It's right under trading tips. I have a calendar. They're 30-minute sessions on Monday and Wednesday. They're free of charge as long as you're a Discord member. And you're under a trial, so you're fine as well. But yeah, they're from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. my time, Monday and Wednesday. Have him guest? Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Getting Bill Williams on here. You like Mark Douglas books? Mark Douglas. That doesn't sound familiar. Let me look up. What are some of the books that he wrote? Mark Douglas. Oh, Trading in the Zone. He wrote Trading in the Zone. I don't like... The book is not bad. I skimmed through Trading in the Zone. I didn't read the entire thing. But I kind of skimmed through it. I'm not big into those psychology books. That's not the style of content that I'm looking for when I'm reading trading books. The whole discipline thing when it comes to trading, I kind of build that myself. I don't want to read about it. I don't want people to kind of like teach it to me. I want to kind of build it myself. And I feel like that's the best way to structure it and like keep it solid. Oh, but yeah, Trading in the Zone, that's like a classic. I'm more into the technical books. But alright guys, I'm going to come to an end here on the stream. Do you guys have any final thoughts, questions, concerns? We still have a discount for the next, I think, 2 people. It's either 1 or 2 people. Let me check the tweet. Where is the tweet? God damn it, how long ago was it? Oh, here we go. So, if you use... I'll send you guys a link to the tweet. I think there's 1 slot left. I think 2 people signed up after this tweet. There's 10% off if you use code IMPROVED. Because this was when we made the new improved Discord page on the website. So you get 10% off the Discord if you sign up with coupon code IMPROVED. I think there's 1 slot left on that. Maybe 2. Most things by Steve Neeson, I cannot recall. Yeah, the Steve Neeson books are good. Trading Chaos by Bill Williams, fantastic. Let's see, what was the book called? Candlestick Charting? Candlestick Charting by Tina Logan. And then Trading Chaos by Bill Williams is good. The books by Steve Neeson. Also, Contrary Investing. That's kind of a, it's like a bonus book. You don't really have to read that one. A Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online by Tony Turner. Markets in Profile, Profiting from the Auction Process. And that's it. So I read them in this order if you want to get the most out of them. Getting started in candlestick charting, read that one first. A Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online, read that second. Then the candlestick books by Steve Neeson. You can read 1, 2, read as many as you want. Those are advanced candlestick books. So once you read the beginning candlestick, you kind of understand day trading. Then you can go into the advanced candlesticks. Then you want to read Contrarian Investing. If you want to read it, it's a bonus book. You can skip it if you want. It's just kind of giving you a different thought process on trading. Being kind of against the trend and trading against the overall like herd mentality. That's why I like reversal trading so much, because I read that book and I kind of tested out some techniques based on that stuff. This one is like, these two you should read last. They're very advanced. You should probably even wait till you have some trading experience to read these books. But Markets in Profile, Profiting from the Auction Process, very advanced book, but it will change the way you look at trading. So maybe trade a little bit for probably like a few months, maybe in a year, and then read that Markets in Profile book, and it will change the way you understand the markets. Now you can read it early, but it might overwhelm you. Around the same time you read that book, if you want to read Trading Chaos by Bill Williams, that's another book that will change the way you think as a trader. Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online is Tony Turner. Toniturner. Tony Turner. But alright guys, I'm going to get out of here. A lot of those books are actually in our Discord for free if you guys don't mind ebooks. I don't like ebooks. I don't learn with ebooks. I get very distracted. I can't read ebooks. But if you guys don't mind ebooks, go to our Trading Tips channel in Discord. Go to the pinned messages. There are hundreds of ebooks in there. There's like books on everything you can think of. Forex, Elliott Wave, Ichimoku, everything. I think some of the Steve Neeson books are in there for free. The Tina Logan book is in there for free. I don't think the Beginner Guide to Day Trading Online is in there. I think the Trading Chaos one is in there, and the Markets and Profiles in there. So almost all the books I mentioned are in there for free. But they're ebooks, so it depends on if you like ebooks or not. Now, even if you read about like research that they did on ebooks, you learn a lot differently, and it's harder to learn with ebooks than it is with regular books. And I agree with that. I cannot learn with ebooks. So, up to you guys. But alright guys, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I will not be streaming tomorrow. I don't stream Mondays. I will be streaming Tuesday though. Tomorrow, I already have some people signed up for the tutoring, but there are some slots left. So if you guys are free, I know a lot of you guys work during the week, so the time slots for right now are like during your workday. I do understand that, but that's when my free time is right now. But we do have some slots left, so if you guys are in the Discord, you want to sign up for the tutoring, it's free. As I said earlier, just go to the calendar and then pick a time that works for you. But all right, guys, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. You guys have a good Monday. It is a holiday tomorrow, so maybe a lot of you guys are off, so that's good. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace out, guys.